Hey guys, I'm Tarky, this is a cat, this is the Division Beta, and this is my 5, well technically 6 things that they need to improve about the Dark Zone, aka the PvP aspect of this game for it to really flourish. Now, the mini point is the point I'm proving just now. Running from the Dark Zone to the main world is boring as hell. Also, excuse any stuttering in OBS, for some reason this game really doesn't like OBS. Now, why do I say that the running backwards and forwards is a pain? Well, if you want to do anything in the Dark Zone, the way that the mechanic works is that you can pick up stuff in the Dark Zone. The only way you can get it out of the Dark Zone is you call in for a helicopter. Ignore those mobs, we're skipping them. Call in a helicopter, sends it back to your stash, right? Now, when your stash is full, you can't get any more loot from the Dark Zone. So what do you need to do? You need to run back into the main world. Run to your stash, put your loot away that you want or don't want, sell it, empty your stash, go back to the Dark Zone. Now what you've been watching me do while talking this whole time is do the run from your stash back to the Dark Zone. So every time you're done PvPing, you need to do this annoying backwards and forth run. Now realistically it takes about 3 minutes, which doesn't sound that bad in the scheme of things. But it's kind of frustrating because you can fast travel from the Dark Zone entrance to your stash, but you can't fast travel back, which is ridiculous. The fact that you can only fast travel one way is just beyond infuriating, and they could very easily fix this problem by just enabling you to fast travel to checkpoints, and I don't know why this isn't in. If it does get added later on, then this is a beta issue, but it's just a really obvious fix which should be in there and would make the game far more enjoyable. Okay, so we're now back in the Dark Zone. You get your vendors, your this, that, and the other. Okay, so that was point 1. So as I was saying, the reason that problem or that issue occurs is that you fill up your stash, right? Now if we open up the inventory, you can see...
Now entering Dark Zone.
Sorry, you can see this amount of space we have in our inventory. You can see the amount of space in our Dark Zone bag. That's this bag. A base Dark Zone bag can only carry 6 items. We cannot see how much is in my stash, right? So this is why I count it only as 1 point, because they're kind of the same thing, and someone's trying to kill me. Now, the reason why this is frustrating is if you have 5 items, you know, this is my best analogy, right? You have 5 spaces available in your stash, so you've got 25 out of 30 inventory spaces open. But you pick up 6 items in your contaminated bag. You can't drop the contaminated items once you've picked them up for some reason. And unless there is a secret menu hidden away, which I haven't found, but I've looked for it, you cannot drop items you've picked up in your contaminated bag. The only way you can drop your contaminated bag is to call in a helicopter. Right. If you leave the Dark Zone, all your contaminated items are destroyed. So you get in this awkward position, which happens surprisingly often, where you have 1 too many items, or 2, or whatever too many items, which you can't get out of the Dark Zone, even though you still have some space in your stash, right? Can you see how that'd be incredibly frustrating? So that's that. Right. The second issue is griefing. So, I'm going to show you how I tend to PvP in this game. Now, I'm assuming anyone who's watching this has a base understanding of how the PvP system works. Basically, if you attack another player, you go rogue. They added in a mechanic so that you don't instantly go rogue. You can shoot someone once, as you can see. So I shot him once. Right. He's now trying to kill me. And now he has gone rogue, even though I attacked him first. Now, the main PvP strat at the moment... Swap weapons. The main PvP strat, and that was one very angry German man, is you hit someone once, and I'll show you again. They think I'm trying to kill them. More times than not, they will turn around and shoot you. So, see if we can just bait him a bit more. Okay, he's not into it. Let's try this guy. Now, basically what this system does, and not everyone falls for it, so it's not, you know, the perfect system, but most people do, I find that if I just empty a few clips around them, they think that I've just got terrible aim or something. Now, this is obviously something which will improve as more people get used to this trick. One more time, bro. If he hits me like one more time, he's now flagged. And I get all of his loot. Now, this is a mechanic which purely punishes newer players. Experienced players, as I said, they'll be used to it, and so it won't be an issue. So, you know, you could say this will only be an issue at launch, but this is going to frustrate a lot of new players. And what's the issue with frustrating new players? Is if you frustrate new players, they won't keep playing your game. This is a game which is highly dependent on having a high population. So if he takes the bait... Okay, well, we don't need to stress the point. You've seen it. So we've PK'd 2 players. And there's been absolutely no risk for myself. And when you're removing the risk from PvP, you're making an unbalanced format. So how would I change this system? Well, what you can currently do is you can hit a player once, and then it's not even once. It's like you can hit them for a set amount of damage. Oh, God, what's this guy doing? Is he trying to play me back in my own game? Ah, I can't do that. But you can hit someone for a set amount of damage, so you can hit someone with a pistol, then you can smack them, you can do a few things. Generally use low DPS weapons, because it's some sort of, you know, set base. We'll just hide here for a while. So the way I would fix this, because what I tend to do is at extraction points, there'll be multiple players. If I empty random clips near players, and I hit each player once, and there's 5 players, one of them's going to think that I'm trying to PK. He'll turn, everyone then turns on that guy. I get loads of free experience, this, that, and the other. It's just not a very balanced experience. What you do is have a set limit of times you can trigger the warning. I understand why they have the warning, because otherwise in firefights you would be going rogue all the time. It would be incredibly chaotic. It might be slightly more fun, and that already happens anyway and is already frustrating. So I think if you have a set limit, so you can hit only, say, 2 players once within a certain time frame, rather than the current system where you can hit as many players as you want for a set amount of damage within any time frame, because all it does is allows players such as myself to come up with griefing mechanics. This is a purely griefing mechanic, which not only griefs other players, but I benefit from it. So that's, you know, a big no-no. Now, the second or third improvement, which has to be made, is more stuff in the open world. Now, this is a shopping center, and there's nothing in it, which is fair enough. Everything's been looted. Now, there are usually a group of NPCs which spawn in here, and they routinely spawn, get killed, spawn, get killed. It seems they're dead this time. Other than that, there's no other attraction at all to this building, right? Now, because of that, basically this building is useless. What you could do is have clothing and food stores throughout the dark zone, which you would routinely be attracted to clearing for loot. Not just NPCs, right? Let's try and steal this. Can we get the loot before he does? No. Oh. So that way, what would happen is, instead of people occasionally going into the shopping center to kill, you know, the 3 NPCs which spawn, which are all very, very boring. Is he learning my game? I think he did. I'll let him roly-pole away. You would have people routinely going in there because they want their transmog. In case you don't know, you have appearance tabs, and you can collect clothing, right? People will go mental about trying to get the perfect transmog set, or that one dude who really wants the black skinny jeans. I'm hoping they're in this game, but you get my point. So if you know that every 15 minutes, for example, this shopping center will reset, and it doesn't need to be completely full of clothes, but you could have, you know, 1 or 2 chests somewhere, or, you know, a stall in the back or something, then you'd have a reason to go in there. You can routinely fill it with enemies, and people will be attracted to finding it, right? Now, he knows my trick, so he's not going to do anything. But I can smack him. Because why not? Now, as I said, you can hit people a couple of times. And we get on to the next point. Alright, let's kill this rogue first. Now, are we going to help him up? No. Because we didn't help him up, we got to take his stuff. Now, this game will have 3 different kinds of players at launch. Or just, it will have 3 different players at any time. You'll have the opportunist player, the PvPer, and the honest player, or the good player. Now, the opportunist will basically cater to whatever playstyle will get them the best rewards. The PvPer just enjoys killing other players, and so they're more interested in PvP than anything else. Even if they won't get that much reward from it, they just enjoy PvPing. They'll be drawn into making kill squads which roam the map. Now, I'm just going to run away from all these NPCs. Now, the honest player is... There's always that one guy, the 4th player, who doesn't know how their voice comms work. Please don't follow me. Go. We'll wait for him to leave here. Thank you. The honest player just wants to get their loot, get to the extraction point, and hunt down rogues, right? They just want to earn their own rewards and benefit from it. Is this guy going to come back again? Let's just scare him off. Now, as you saw earlier on when there was the nice German man crying on the floor asking for someone to revive him, there was no incentive for me to revive him. If I let him die, I can pick up the currency he drops. Now, what they should do, since you have allied agents and rogued agents, even if they're not in the same party, should have the option of reviving another nearby rogued enemy. If they do so, they could get a little bit of currency, or they could kill them and just take their currency. The same with allied players. If you want to be a good guy and you want to play it as a good person, it doesn't need to be a roleplay thing, it's just some people just like helping other people, and you revive a friendly agent, you should get a currency reward, or some kind of, even if it was just experience, even if you just got Dark Zone experience, it may not have to be currency, because then people might farm it, but, you know, there would be a reason behind it, and it would be nice, and it would promote people to group. At the moment, this game promotes pure scumminess, which is fine, but it will drive the good players out of this game. I'm just a PvPer, I would enjoy just having a completely ruthless community, but the community will be smaller because of it. Right. So, you go, okay then, so what's your final point? This is my final point, and this is the most frustrating of all of the aspects of the Dark Zone. So, we're looking at it, and you're going, okay, so what have you got here? You've got this, whatever, right? If you go into pouches, you see access keys. Now, I only know about these keys because I did some research on the game. Most people, or at least the new player, right, isn't going to look into their pouches to see they have keys. And they're going to be like, well, what's a key? A specialized key used to access particular crates in the Dark Zone. Not particularly helpful. Basically, the way it works is scattered throughout the Dark Zone, the PvP area, there are Dark Zone chests. Now, the issue with the Dark Zone chests is many. One, they're not very distinctive. They often just blend into clutter, right? You just think they're normal crates, because there's not much distinction between a normal crate in this game, like any of these on the back of this truck, for example. Or except for they have biohazard warnings on them, that was perhaps a bad example. But any military-style truck, and an actual Dark Zone crate. So one, it's just kind of hard to tell what they are. If you do know what you're looking for, and you do manage to locate one, then you have the next issue. They don't have any indicators on them, like that you can loot them or that they're locked or so on and so forth, unless they haven't been looted. Which again bleeds into the issue that even if you do initially recognize something being a crate, I'm trying to find one for you now as an example, it's not distinctly apparent, right? So when you do eventually find one, and they have nearly always already been looted, then you can't tell if it's been looted within the last minute, the last 5 minutes, the last 10 minutes, the last 20 minutes. So as I'm aware, no one has any idea of when they respawn, because it's never told. Not even if it was a tip on the menu saying, these crates respawn every 15-20 minutes, right? Then you'd know, okay, well, I'll keep checking in on this one crate, I know where it is. I'm just going to run past these NPCs. then we might be lucky, we might get it before someone else does, right? No. It never works like that. And what will happen is you don't know what a key is, you don't know what a chest is. When you eventually find a chest, and it just happens that no one else has looted it, you then don't have a key, because when you die, you drop your keys. Right? So this is what I would recommend. All chests would be marked on the map, on the global map. You would see all of the spawn points. Now, if you wanted to have some super rare chests hidden away, that'd be fine, but you'd have the main chests just dotted away on the map. That way, it would reward players who knew about the secret chests, but you'd have the main chests hidden on the map with long respawn timers, and the respawn timers would be public information. So you could have, say you have these landmark sites. Let's say in each landmark site there were a chest, right? And there could even be 3 spawn points or whatever, and there would be a timer saying chest spawning in X. As you can see, when there's a nearby extraction, you get a global warning. If there's a nearby rogue, there's a global warning. You could quite easily have a chest warning. A chest is spawning in the next minute, and it's marked on your map. What will happen is all of the players will rush into, let's say, Division Tech. All of the players will rush in there from all these different entries, and it promotes player interaction. At the moment, the only real player interaction you have are extraction points, which is fine, but most solo players will avoid extraction points unless they need to get rid of their loot, because it's dangerous, someone might kill them. However, everyone wants to open chests. There's no one who doesn't want to open chests. So you'll have people trying to sneak in, maybe hoping that they can get a lucky one, or they've got keys, maybe they can get in, this, that, or the other. Another very good thing about this is when you die, you drop your keys. If you're promoting all of your players to be near chests, there will always be keys near the chests because people will be dying near them, right? Because the way you currently get keys, sorry for the camera, just wait for it. Yeah. The way you currently get keys is you farm NPCs and eventually an NPC will drop one. Or you just kill a player. So that would be a big solution. So if we think about it this way, right? We have our 3 extraction points. Yes, this is a cut-off beta section. And then we have, you know, a few sort of landmarks which will have a bunch of NPCs. But imagine instead we had our 3 extraction points, a shopping centre over there, a shopping centre over here. We had a bunch of chests dotted around the map, and we had timers. Now, I'm not saying that every second a timer needs to be going off, but if you could make a route, and players could start developing their own routes, counter routes, this, the other, you would have a natural pattern of play. You'd be going to certain areas at certain times. You'd always have something to do. So, to summarise, the 5 things I want: it's a stash overlay in the inventory and fast travel from the dark zone to the stash and back, so you don't have to do the pointless 3-minute run. Chest timers, so that we can see when chests are going to be spawning, promote players to interact with the chests more than just that one dude who happens to know where they are. Anti-grief mechanics, because no one really enjoys being griefed. A way to reward honest play, very simply just put an XP or a currency reward in reviving other players. And overworld activities such as shopping centres and so forth to raid for cosmetics. I'm TarkyCat, thanks for watching, have a good night, bye bye.